I've lived here since 1981, and I have also worked in statistical analysis with the Energy Information Administration. PEPCO is one of thousands of organizations that has to submit data. Believe me, PEPCO has the worst record in the country. But we all knew that already. Anyhow, the thing that I want to talk about first is that as residents, we have been, not only for those of us that pay electricity through our rent, or you are actually a direct customer of PEPCO, but we're paying as citizens. Our police officers are directing traffic when we don't have traffic lights, 140 traffic lights. The elderly, the disabled, the low incomes, throwing your food away, having prescription drugs that require refrigeration, your insurance or Medicare is not going to let you replace those drugs on your prescription coverage. You have to pay for those, $200-300 a prescription. Our first responders, and this last go around, we had several people die in nursing homes because PEPCO's on TV telling them that they're giving priority to the hospitals, the nursing homes. The village at Rockville didn't have power for 3 days. These are extremely fragile people. That's why they're in a nursing home. That's the kind of junk we put up with. Personally, I think PEPCO officers should be criminally held responsible for those deaths. And I know that Montgomery County first responders and you all are talking about that. They're civil offenses. But the people at risk, these elderly, low income, I'm a disabled person myself, we can't afford this. Now, for a specific, I've been an advocate for some friends of mine that are in their 80s. Since I didn't go back that far, since 2007, they have been without power over 100 days. They have diabetes, heart trouble, congestive heart failure, asthma, emphysema, and all PEPCO did during the snowstorm was offer them blankets and a ride in a bucket truck. They're not leaving. And they have wells, they live right outside of Rockville, so if they don't have electricity, like another person said, they don't have water. They had to buy a $700 to $100 generator, and I told them to send the bill to PEPCO. Also, it took me yelling at them, PEPCO, and 3 elected officials to get them an essential line application because of their health. And finally, after several state officials and county officials helped us, they sent it on a Saturday, Federal Express. But they've still been without power since they've been on essential line service. Then my congregation, a few months ago, that lovely tree, trees have become the enemy for PEPCO. Trees aren't the enemy, they were here first. They aren't the enemy. And their tree trimming business and tree gouging business has failed. We saw it on the Durate show. It failed. But specifically on my little congregation, population 350 and about 250 kids, PEPCO and their tree gawing equipment and buddies were in our neighborhood. They came to the church office and told them that we must get rid of these 6 trees. And by the way, the tree gawers, that little orange truck, Ashland, or I call them the demons of trees, so they said, by the way, we're right around the corner. So they cut the trees down. The city of Rockville was going to fine us thousands of dollars for taking down mature trees on an easement. But when we explained to the city of Rockville, and hard to believe, I know most people won't believe this, PEPCO did not lie. They said, oh yeah, we told them to cut the trees down. So then the city negotiated on behalf of our congregation and made PEPCO pay for the replacement of those trees that had been there for over 50 years because that's how long we've owned our property on our congregation. That's just some of their shenanigans. By the way, I only lost power during the Durate show. I was very lucky for about 7 hours. So I know I was like one of the queens of the county here. But I have severe asthma. And the fear of that terrible storm coming that weekend after the derecho, I went into severe asthma attacks for 16 hours and almost had to go to the hospital because I was so scared that I was going to lose power. Not that I would lose power, but I knew it would be for days.